Hello and welcome to the Cavern of Terror.
Beautiful, isn't it? But what if I told you back in 1958, a woman named Pamela Voorhees, who lost her mind after the death of her son, 1957, Jason Voorhees, drowned in this very lake, went crazy, and killed 2 camp counselors. Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake. Hey guys, and welcome to the Cavern of Terror. And as you can tell by the beginning clip, the thumbnail, and the title of this video, we are talking about Friday the 13th. Yes, we are talking about a franchise that doesn't get much airplay on this channel. We don't talk about it too much. You can see it in the background of my videos. I've actually done a video on Friday the 13th. It's very old. I hate it. It's a bad review of the remake. If you want to go over there and check it out, here is that video. Please don't watch it because it sucks. I will admit it, I am a huge Scream fan. I love Ghostface as a character. He is my slasher icon. But after I watched Friday the 13th for the first time, because of Scream, Big Jason Voorhees became my second. They're like right there. I love Friday the 13th. I love Pamela Voorhees. I love all the characters. I love Jason Voorhees. And I really, really want to start talking about Friday the 13th on this channel. So dig in to your, snacks and everything, because we are going to talk about Friday the 13th. First up, you've probably seen this guy in the background of my videos before, is my Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees pop figure. I love this little guy. He is one of my favorite pops. I can't talk. He's one of the favorite pops that I have in my collection. I think he was one of my first ones. And, excuse me, I want to get Baghead Jason, but right now this is the one that I have, and this is the one that I love. And I'm going to try to put him in, excuse me, I had soda today. Excuse me. This is one of my favorite pops. As I said, I want Baghead Jason, but this one is very special to me because it's one of my first ones. And look, you got Big J right there with his mask. Doesn't he look dope? He looks dope, doesn't he? This next thing that I have is actually a gift from a subscriber and a very, very good friend. Holly sent me this Friday the 13th shot glass with Big J's mask right there, which is pretty dope. And then it says 13th on the side. It looks wood. It's actually plastic. It's pretty cool. And I love this little shot glass. I will probably have it in more videos, but it is one of my favorites. Thank you, Holly. This next thing is actually very special to me because this was a gift from my parents and pretty rare now. So if you have it, try to keep a hold of it. This is the 8-film Friday the 13th DVD collection that I don't see often much anymore. And you can see the love that I've put into this box set. It has all of the Friday the 13th movies on DVD, which are pretty cool. You have this awesome special features thing. This was really cool for a long time until I got something else that I'm going to show you. It has featurettes, the making of Friday the 13th. Very cool. Then we have all the movies on DVD and on like the same disc. So you have Friday the 13th, The New Blood, Part 7, and Jason Takes Manhattan. Not my favorite movies. I know Kane Hodder is awesome in 7. The look is really dope, but it's not my favorite movie. Next up, we have Friday the 13th Part 5, The New Beginning, and Friday the 13th 6, Jason Lives. Honestly, I like Part 5. We will get into that at a later date. I have an idea for a video for that. So, next, we have Friday the 13th Part 3 and 4. We will definitely be talking about Part 4 in this video, because it may or may not be my favorite. And then we have the original Friday the 13th and Friday the 13th Part 2. So, these are actually pretty cool. I've seen these so many times. I watched the shit out of these when I was a kid. When I first got this collection, I was probably like 12. But I watched all these a lot. This is a very cool set. Next up, we actually have Jason X. Guys, I love Jason X. I don't care what anybody says. This movie is great. I know a lot of people hate this movie and rank it very low for some reason, but I love it. Guys, cryo kill. Roll the clip. How awesome is that? You cannot say that's not an awesome kill. It's one of the most badass kills in the whole franchise. Plus, you have probably the best performance from Kane Hodder as Jason. I love him in this movie. I know he's great in 7, but he is awesome in this one. I mean, we really didn't get much of him in Jason Goes to Hell. And, you know, he's there for a couple scenes, but he's not really in the whole thing. This one, he's in the whole thing. I'm not a fan of Slimy Jason from Friday the 13th 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. No, sorry, Lindsay. I can't do it. I can't do it. I just don't like that movie. I've never liked it. I'm sorry. I can't get into it. I don't know why we are losing focus so much. Focus. Focus, camera. Sorry, I'm doing magic on my camera right now. This next thing is the best Friday the 13th thing you could possibly have if you're a Friday the 13th fan, aside from a mask. And that is the Camp Crystal Lake Memories documentary. This is awesome. I'm not much of a documentary fan, even though I love the Never Sleep Again documentary for Nightmare on Elm Street. This is made by the same company that did that. And this is very good. Very, very good. They have all of the actors, for the most part, that have done a Friday the 13th movie, except for Kevin Bacon. Why are you not on this? I have to know why. This is very cool. It's very long. This is very cool, but it's very long at the same time. This has every actor that played Jason Voorhees, I believe, on here, that is still living. I know they have interviews with the ones that aren't with us anymore. All the final girls are on here, and it's narrated by the Fell Dog himself, Corey Feldman. He's awesome. This is very cool if you don't have it. I'm so happy that I finally have an 8-movie collection for Friday the 13th. I know that Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X are not on this, which sucks, but you have 5 through 8 on Blu-ray. I've never seen 5 through 8 on Blu-ray. So it's really cool to finally have them all in a collection. I know that there was the chocolate tin that actually has 9 and 10 on Blu-ray, along with the remake, I believe, which is really cool. But I just missed the boat on it. I missed the boat. I should have got it when I saw it for $60 at Best Buy, but I just did not have the money. But this is an awesome collection if you just want, you know, the main series on Blu-ray. And there's a ton of special features for each one, which is pretty cool. I haven't really dug into this yet, but I've watched all the movies on Blu-ray and they all look great. But this is the 8-film collection. Bear with me here. I will explain why I have all these individually. But I have 1 through 4 individually on Blu-ray. And why do I have them all individually? Because I love the first 4. I love the first 4 the most out of the whole franchise. And I really do like part 5, but I don't have that individually, so I can't have that here. But guys, these are the ones that I went back and watched so many times when I was a kid, and that includes the first one. The first one, I know. Brian Lomax does not like this movie. What's wrong with you? I'm kidding. I love you. He does not like this movie. I don't know why. I know it can be cheesy and low budget and not very well executed, but the ending with Betsy Palmer saves this movie and makes it a classic. She opened the door for female killers. It was really cool to see a female killer. I wasn't expecting a female killer the first time I saw this movie, and that's why it became a staple for me to watch every year. I love it, especially the kills. The kills are great. They are groundbreaking kills. This is a groundbreaking movie for the slasher genre. And of course, it gets our introduction of the Bacon. Kevin Bacon. Okay, so there is Friday the 13th Part 2 and Part 3. I love Friday the 13th Part 2. No, wait, that's Part 3. I love Friday the 13th Part 2. I know it's a lot of people's favorite. It's not my favorite. We will get to that in a minute. Part 2 is very good. I think it's a better version of the first one. I know that might be a little controversial, but this is one of those franchises, as Cody Leach has said so many times, that not very many franchises will say that the first one is everybody's least favorite or not close to number one. And this is why. Part 2 is so much better. It does everything that Part 1 did, but better. The characters are better. You love the final girl better. There's a better killer in this one. I know that the reveal of Pamela Voorhees in the original is awesome, but you get Jason Voorhees in Part 2. I know that might be a superficial opinion, but this was my favorite for a long time until we saw another movie. I like Part 3. There's a lot of things about Part 3 that are awesome. I know Jason gets his mask in this one. You have Richard Brooker's performance of Jason. He is awesome in this movie. But it's kind of boring in parts. There are characters that you don't like too much. The head squeeze kill. Dead Meat talked about it, that it's the worst and the best thing of all time. It's a really bad special effect, especially for back in the day. But it's so awesome at the same time. Chris saves it for the performance that she delivers at the end of the movie. I love her character. She's a great final girl. You know, brunettes, they always win for me. And like I said, Richard Brooker, he's awesome. He's scary. That's what saves Friday the 13th Part 3 and makes it a movie that I watch religiously every year. But we get to my favorite Friday the 13th. That's right. Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. This is everything a Friday the 13th movie is supposed to be. And does it. It delivers on 10. It is awesome. You have Ted White's performance as Jason Voorhees. Some consider him the best. I would consider him the best. I know. People love Derek Mears. And I do too. And he's my number 2. Ted White's number 1. For this scene right here. Check this out. Boom! Rob is under the house with a hammer in his head. This scene, guys, scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. And here it comes. Boom! Ted White is so good as Jason Voorhees. Oh! Alright, my favorite shot. Boom! Right through the wall. Or through the door. Oh, he was so badass. Why would that not scare the living shit out of people? That is the most intimidating version of Jason, in my opinion, until you get to the remake. And I know I put them very close together. I know a lot of people will put him higher than Ted White, but Ted White, the characters in Friday the 13th Part 4, Joseph Zito's direction. You'll get where I'm going here. It's everything. Everything is 100% in this. The kills by Tom Savini, they all look amazing. That's why I love Friday the 13th Part 4. So last here we have Freddy vs. Jason and the remake. So we'll talk about Freddy vs. Jason first. I love it. Saw it in theaters. And I actually did a Scream Stream commentary track with Lee from Drum Dums and CP from Willis Screedia. We watched Freddy vs. Jason. It was a good time. If you want to watch that video, you can check it out over on Drum Dum's channel. This is fun. This is not trying to win an Oscar. I know a lot of people don't really like Ken Kersinger's version of Jason Voorhees. I think he's cool. I think he's badass. I think he's a little lifeless, though. I think he does what he's supposed to do. But honestly, this is more of a Freddy movie. But the fight at the end is what made this movie for me. The fight at Camp Crystal Lake looked dope. You cannot tell me it was not amazing. I know it goes a little over the top, but what do you expect from a movie starring Freddy and Jason? So the remake is upon us, people. And when I saw the remake in theaters, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I thought it was too much like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which makes sense because it's directed by the director of the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Marcus Nispel. He did an awesome job on that movie. This one, I didn't think so much back at the time that I watched it, because of Jason taking a hostage. I was not about that. I was not about the huntsman, woodsman version of Jason Voorhees in this until I saw this movie much later. When I bought it on Blu-ray, when I was building up my horror collection, I said, why the hell not? Let's pick up Friday the 13th, 2009. I popped it in and loved it the first time I saw it on Blu-ray. Guys, this movie's amazing. It's got everything that has Friday the 13th. It screams Friday the 13th. You got the boobs, you got the kills. You know, you got Jason, Derek Mears' Jason. You have Daniel Pearl cinematography, which is amazing in this movie. You have, did I say boobs? You have great nipple placement, baby. Yet some people find a reason not to like this movie, saying that there's too much violence. Okay, there's too many boobs. What? Have you not seen the original Friday the 13th movies? There are boobs everywhere. I know. I totally agree with what Cody Leach says about that. And why is that an argument? This is awesome. This is Friday the 13th. This is probably my second favorite Friday the 13th. It would probably be Friday the 13th 4, the remake, and then part 2. I love all three of those movies. And see the remake if you haven't. Don't listen to anybody else's opinion. Form your own. So a couple of things that I want to leave you with before I end this video is to tell you why I really like Friday the 13th. And Friday the 13th was one of those movies that I first found after I found Scream, like I said, where I got into a horror franchise. There's so much creativity in Friday the 13th that made me love it. I mean, with the kills, with the characters, with the location. I thought that the mythology of Jason Voorhees, and is he a ghost? Is he immortal? Like, why can he take a shot to the head and still get back up? I thought that that was awesome at the time. I love what this series can do for other people to expand their imaginations, expand their creativity. Look at Vincent DeSante. Look at Never Hike Alone. It's one of the best fan films I've ever seen. And he went into that ghost mythology of Jason Voorhees, and that is amazing. I love the ghost mask. I like what they did with that story. It creates a lot of inspiration to do other things. That's why I love it. And I also love that it made me think of my own hometown, like the small town of Crystal Lake. And I think it's like Greenville or something, like Crystal Lake, and then the small town going around it reminds me of where I grew up as a kid. I mean, that lake that I showed you is very near to my old home that I used to live in. And I'll show you exactly where I was in this clip right here. So I want to get this shot of the lake. I'm getting it on my phone. But this is Callan's Gap State Park in Lower Pennsylvania. So back to you, Video Zach. Just to let you know, I was freezing in that clip. It was like 30 degrees out there. But it was worth it to go out there and film that scene at the very beginning for you guys to get yourself into the mood to watch this video to talk about Friday the 13th. Okay, so that has been my first real official video on Friday the 13th. Do you guys want me to talk about it more on this channel? Because I am itching to. But if you want to talk about Friday the 13th, if you want me to talk about Friday the 13th in more videos, let me know in those comments down below. What do you think of Friday the 13th? Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation in the comments, people. Let me know what you think of Friday the 13th. When was the first time you saw it? Do you hate Friday the 13th? Let me know. Stay tuned to my channel, guys, because I have a lot of good shit coming up. my Nightmare on Elm Street reviews. I'm finally going to finish Final Destination, I swear. And possibly more, Friday the 13th videos if you guys want to see more. If you want to get yourself a Cavern of Terror t-shirt, check out my link to my Spreadshirt store in the comments. It's not in the comments. What the fuck are you talking about? Zach! What are you talking about? They are in the description box. Check out that link. Get yourself an awesome shirt designed by me and Woody Bowen from over at Woodinator Designs. I think that's what he calls it. But there's some cool shit over there. My t-shirts, my Cavern of Terror Stand Metal for my friends t-shirts. Check them out if you want one. And I would also appreciate it if you check me out on social media. The links to all those accounts are in the description box. I said it right this time. But most importantly, guys, I'm Zach. This has been the Cavern of Terror. Stay metal, my friends. 3, 2, 1. That's great. I have to talk about everything again because I was recording on the wrong microphone. Fuck my life.